left home when I was 3. He didn't leave much for my ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke. Got a lot of laughs from a lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red. Some old boy would laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. But I grew up quick, I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. I made me a vow to the moon and stars that I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and I'd kill that man that give me that awful name. Well, it was Green, Texas in mid-July. I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud was the dirty, mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a wore-out picture that my mother had had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old. I looked at him and my blood ran cold and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." Yeah. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth. We crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I tell you, I've fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I pulled mine first, and he just stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile, and he said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd either get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong." He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the beep that named you Sue." Well, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up, threw down my gun, I called him a paw, he called me a son, and I come away with a different point of view. So I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I'm gonna name him Bill or George, anything but Sue.